What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and I got another episode of People's Questions, episode 117. If you can't already tell, today I'll be playing a much more sophisticated game titled Heavy Rain. Now, before I begin, I would like to thank all of you guys out there that sent in your really great set of questions. I actually got a lot more this episode than I did the last two episodes combined. So to jump right into your questions, the first one comes from a newbie by the name of Hendrix Chaplin. And you want to know, what are my top 5 favorite comic books / graphic novels? Well, Hendrix, I have to be honest. I actually added your question to a list of top list videos that I plan to have out over the next couple of days. So just keep your eyes up for that video, because I will be sure to mention and thank you again for the great topics list video idea. The next 5 questions come from a regular of mine by the name of James V. And you want to know, what is my biggest regret ever? I guess my biggest regret ever is something that I think I've mentioned a couple of times, and if my friend is listening to this, man, I apologize. I'm way past this, but you know, James asked the question, so I have to answer it, and it is introducing my friend to Call of Duty. I had never seen Call of Duty Addiction up close, and I thought it was kind of a joke until I introduced it to my friend, and he got addicted to it for years. I mean, he got more into it than I ever did, and you know, it was kind of a scary situation, and in many ways it changed him a little bit. I mean, I don't know what he's playing these days, but you know, if he's past it, then you know, I'm happy for him. But you know, for those few years that he was just playing Call of Duty, it was a pretty scary experience, because you know, it was my fault, and so I feel bad about it. I mean, I'm past it now, but you know. Your next question is, what is my favorite type of music? Well, James, I will listen to just about anything outside of that crazy teen pop crap they play these days, country music, and angry rap music. But everything else, I think I can listen to pretty easily. Your next question is, what has been my biggest achievement in life? I think my biggest achievement in life was creating 3TR. I have to tell you, this experience in creating this channel has really allowed me to do things I never thought I could have done. I mean, 5 years ago, I had only like 5 friends I could talk to over the course of 4 years, and heck, back then you couldn't even get me in front of a camera. But you know, heck, I would never believe that 5 years later I would create a channel that would end up being more successful than even I could imagine, and I now have more friends to talk to all the time through you guys. You guys really do make this the biggest reason why I enjoy doing this every other day. So creating 3TR, I would say, is my biggest achievement so far. Your next question is, do I think there will be a Grand Theft Auto 6 for these current consoles? Yeah, James, you know, we had 2 Grand Theft Auto games for the last gen consoles, and after the success of the 5th one, it would be foolish to think that they're not going to make a Grand Theft Auto 6 for these current gen consoles. I'm sure they will. Your next question is, what is my favorite game company? Well, I would like to say it's Konami, obviously because of Metal Gear, but due to a couple of recent decisions and things that have been said, it's kind of, you know, moved my interest towards another company. So I guess I would say my current favorite company is probably Santa Monica Studios, the makers of, you know, God of War. I mean, as far as I know, they have yet to make a bad game. And I'm just curious to see when we will see maybe a God of War, or maybe their next big exclusive title for the PlayStation. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. The next 3 questions come from Ace Arcadia, and you want to know, what is the last Blu-ray movie I bought? Well, Ace, I'm usually very selective about my Blu-rays, and the last one I remember buying was Man of Steel. I actually bought the 3D collector's edition, if you saw my unboxing for that. The only movies I ever buy on Blu-ray are movies that were either like the best movie I saw that year, which is why I have like the Dark Knight trilogy, which surprisingly the first Blu-ray I ever bought was the Dark Knight. I actually have 2 copies of that. So whatever is the best movie that I see this year, which I'm hoping it's going to be X-Men, that's one that I will certainly buy on Blu-ray this year. Your next question is, are there any games that I haven't beaten that I still own? Yes, Ace, I still own Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero. It's still in its wrapping. I have not opened or played it, and I will not open or play it until I know when the Phantom Pain comes out, because I'm going to play those probably a week between each other. So as soon as I know when the Phantom Pain will be released, I will wait until I've gotten it prepaid and we're getting ready to play it, because I want to play these games back to back, because I think that's how these games should be played. Next question is, have I seen the anime Attack on Titan? Yes, I actually, if you guys watch my Loot Crate unboxings, I think the Loot Crate that I did last month actually came with a Attack on Titan Magna book, and I started reading it and I got really into it, and then I found out that there's actually an anime series on Netflix, and I just started watching it, and I'm actually having quite a lot of fun with this one. I actually have not enjoyed watching an anime like this probably since Death Note a few years back. So yeah, Ace, I'm really enjoying it so far. The next set of questions come from Big Phil 2695, and you want to know who would win in a fight between Han Solo and Chewie versus Kirk and Spock. Well, Big Phil, you didn't tell me which version of Kirk and Spock you're using, so I'm assuming you want to use the William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy version. So I have to pair these two up. So I'm going to put Han versus Kirk and Chewie versus Spock. And between Han and Kirk, I'm pretty sure Han Solo would win, simply because, he's a space adventure guy. I think he's much more willing to do reckless things and cheat and do whatever he takes to win the fight. As for Kirk, is a lot more reckless, and so that kind of leads to sloppy execution. So I'm pretty sure Han would beat Kirk. And as much as I think Spock is a badass, he really can't take on a Wookiee. I mean, Wookiees are known for ripping people's arms off. They can rip droids' arms off. They can rip humans' arms off. I really doubt that Chewie will have any problem ripping a Vulcan's arms off and beating them with it. And I really doubt Spock's Vulcan nerve pinch is going to do anything to help. So I'm pretty sure Han and Chewie are going to go win. Your next question is, who will win in a fight between the Winter Soldier and the Lizard? I'm pretty sure the Winter Soldier would win. I mean, the Lizard is much more of an animalistic character. I mean, he does have a sense of intelligence, but the Winter Soldier is a professional fighter who's been around for decades. So he would have no problem bringing the type of, firepower or precision that it would need to take down someone like the Lizard. So I'm pretty sure the Winter Soldier will win. Your next question is, who is my favorite Star Wars character and why? My favorite Star Wars character is probably Emperor Palpatine, mainly because of the prequels. I really did not like the Emperor all that much in Return of the Jedi. I mean, all he did was just talk and shoot electricity, and he really died in a really disappointing fashion. As for the prequels, I think they did him a lot more justice. I mean, this is the guy that set up the Trade Federation blockade around Naboo. He then became the Senator of the Republic. He then started a plan to start building a clone army. He was playing both sides between the Republic and the CIS, and then he executed the brilliant plan of Order 66, wiped out almost all the Jedi, and turned the Republic into the Galactic Empire. And that is a masterful plan over the course of 3 films. And I know how some people may feel about them, and Episode 3 is my favorite film of all 6 films, and I just thought that execution of that plan was just absolutely excellent. Your next question is, who is my favorite Star Trek captain and why? Well, obviously it's going to come down between Picard or Kirk, and I think Picard is a much better captain simply because he's much more of an intellect, he's much more by the books, and he's not as reckless as Kirk. So Kirk's a lot more reckless and willing to do anything to win, and I think that leads to getting a lot of his own crew members killed. So I want a captain that I can actually have a serious conversation with, and that's where Picard definitely eclipses Kirk. Your next question is, what would I do if I found out that I had the powers of Superman? Probably fly around the country, meet as many of you as I can, and hang out, because if I had the ability to fly, then I think it would make a lot of my trip plans a lot easier. Your next question is, if I could be a girl for a day, what would I do? Well, Big Phil, I don't want to be a girl for a day. So if I was turned into a girl for a day, I would probably stay at home here and just play video games all day until I turned back into a boy. The next question comes from Muhal247, and you want to know, what are my thoughts on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 video game? Well, Muhal, I actually enjoyed the first Amazing Spider-Man game a lot more than I thought I would, so I'm actually quite pumped up to play this next one. I've already had it set to come to me through my GameFly, and I'll be sure to play it. I will review it, and if you guys would like me to do a Let's Play for it, please tell me in the comments down below so I know ahead of time to start recording little sections of the game so you guys can see me play it. And the last question comes from Core23461, and you want to know, can I do a versus matchup between King from Tekken and Hangard from Final Fight? You know, Core, I'm actually about to upload my next versus matchup, which, if I remember correctly, is Virgil versus Nero from Devil May Cry 4. And I'll actually be uploading a video afterwards, kind of explaining how I set up my versus matchups, because I'll be halfway done with all the matchups that I made for myself. So I'll be looking for some new ideas. So maybe you can add a couple of ideas that I could use for future versus matchups. And after that, those are all the questions that you guys sent in this week. I would like to thank all of you guys for sending in your really great set of questions. Like, if you would like to see me answer some of your guys' questions for episode 118, please type them in the comments down below, but be sure to get them into me before Wednesday when I start filming these. And if you like this video, feel free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to keep track of me in my future episodes of the People's Questions. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're all totally awesome, and I will see you next time.